magical talents are considered quite cool. But someone is after our plucky young students. An escape to the country sounds rather prudent. Can Isabel protect her young proteges with magical dangers abundant? I guess we'll find out in this month's book that's called The Wizard of London.
Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Welcome to Literarily Wasted. This is our live book discussion for this month's book, which is The Wizard of London by Mercedes Lackey. Yay! This book was part of a Mercedes Lackey book poll that was created by Katie, our member, who she may show up in the comment section. But hello, everybody. Despite some people's best efforts, Jeff, this discussion is still happening. We're not going to be watching Clue, but maybe we'll
You
watch
gotta give me at least something for trying.
But welcome to the stage, Jeff.
Hello, everybody.
And Tim. Look at me on the applause button.
I'm so proud of you.
Thank
First
you.
time.
Thank you. Thank you.
You deserve an applause for that.
I already clicked away from the button. Well, let's see who's here. Hi, Christopher and Jennifer and Stacy and Brenda, Carrie Hay. Hello, fellow Wizard Brandy. Hello, Tiffany and Kent. And who's this? Jeff, double dipping in the comment section. Missy, Rachel, Becca, and Brandy, who loved this song, said it was beautiful. Thanks. I sung it. But okay, so we are here to talk about The Wizard of London. Quite a change of pace from last month's book, which was The King in Yellow. Sorry if it's too soon.
I like The King in Yellow.
The part that I had in my book, I liked. I didn't get to read all of it that everybody else had.
But let's talk about The Wizard of London. Let's just start with the general thoughts on what we thought of the book. This is technically book number 4 in this Elementals series, but it stands alone.
Yeah, I think they're all standalone.
They're all kind of standalone. So is this everybody's first time reading it? Tim, is your first time?
Yes.
Jeff, is your first time reading it?
Yeah, that's my first Mercedes Lackey book.
First Mercedes Lackey, mine as well. Chrissy, you've
This
read.
is my second, just her, and then I read a trilogy that her and Andre Norton wrote like a long time ago.
Oh. Well, then, Christy, we'll start with you since you're the Mercedes Lackey veteran of the group. What did you think of this one?
I had mixed feelings about this one. I liked it overall. There are some things about this book that I adore, and I can't wait to talk about them. And then there were some things that I just felt like the book meandered a little bit for me. And it kind of got distracted, and that was distracting for me. But I did overall really like it.
Sorry, our cats are freaking out.
Yeah, as they do.
As they do. So overall, liked it.
Yeah.
Had some quality. Tim, what did you think?
I liked it. I liked the story. I liked the world building and the way it flowed. Yeah, it did bog down occasionally, but it seemed like that was necessary. So yeah, it was a good story. Liked it.
Nice. Okay, I'm gonna like make a mental asterisk of that. We're gonna like revisit. We're gonna unpack that in a minute. But what did you think, Jeff?
Yeah, so for the most part, I liked it. I do think it had some strange pacing issues, and the changes between point of view kind of threw me. I mean, it's not like the first time I've read a book where the point of view changes, but these seemed very just odd. It made the book not flow as well for me. I really liked the character of Nan. That was the one I was really most interested in reading about.
Yeah.
David, I could have taken or leaving him. But it seems like with so many characters, I would have liked to have maybe spent a little more time with one person as the protagonist of the whole book. But as a whole, I liked it. I enjoyed it. But it certainly felt, and I don't know when the publishing date is, Christy, you may know it. It definitely felt like a book that was written before like the modern fantasy craze has come in. I'm guessing in the early 80s.
2005.
Really? Wow, that surprises me.
Yeah.
It felt older to me,
Mhm.
but that was just my opinion. But I mean, I enjoyed it.
It did. It felt older to me too, and I think I was judging it by this book cover, which looks like something from like the 80s. Or
I love the book cover. I think it's beautiful.
I didn't say it wasn't good. Just said it looks like dated.
No, I agree. Yeah, it feels like something you would have seen on the shelves in the mid 80s, early 90s.
Yeah.
I think overall I liked it. It wasn't hard to read. It flowed from a readability standpoint. I was able to just it's a kind of a for me a bigger book, but it didn't feel like it was long, and I crammed some of it, which wasn't hard. I agree with a lot of what y'all are saying about the pacing. I also felt that there were some pacing issues, and that there was some filler that I don't, maybe on a reread I might get something out of. But I did like the characters. I liked the two girls, and I liked Isabel and Frederick. I liked them a lot. They reminded me a lot of the Hexologists.
Yeah. A really happy, loving couple and wonderful people that that really like each other.
Yeah. So I was getting Hexologist vibes from that. And I really liked the characters in the Hexologist. So this was nice to read. Also, another couple that respected each other and knew how to communicate with each other and just really loved each other. And just, you didn't see any drama between them.
Yeah.
Which is nice. And then we have the other characters, David, Cordelia. Jeff said he could have taken or leave David. You mean the Wizard of London? This guy?
Yeah, but this book should not have been named for him.
I don't know why. I don't know why it's called the Wizard of London.
No.
It's a terrible name.
Even like 75% of the way through, I'm like, why is this book called this?
Well, I think it would have worked if we'd have gotten a little bit more with David, especially at the end. If we'd have gotten a little bit more with him. It seems like they set him up to be the Wizard of London in some other book. Like he might be that guy later, but in this book, it wasn't. I mean, he could have been anybody. It could have been any character. He didn't matter. Other than he had to have that relationship with Isabel or Isabella. Yeah, Isabel. And that's why he was important.
Now, I'm not saying that we didn't, but correct me if I'm wrong. Did we see him do any wizarding?
At the very end, he did pull on his abandoned fire spirits. Yeah.
Okay, so.
But that was it, right?
So Wizard in London by name only.
Well, what's interesting is this.
I was expecting that Nan would be, introduced as the wizard, but didn't happen.
That's what I thought. So I mean, it was interesting how we were introduced to the characters. We were introduced to Isabel first, and then we got a Sarah chapter, and it's like this is the only Sarah chapter in the whole book. So I'm thinking, oh, this book is going to be about Sarah, and then we never come back to Sarah's POV at all. Once Nan enters the picture, then we bounce back and forth between Nan, Isabel, Cordelia, and David, and that's it. I say that's it, but it's like four different POVs that we're getting in the book.
That's it, I think.
But
I felt the same thing. I thought it opened on Sarah. I was like, okay, we're going to see this girl's journey, and then she just even became secondary to Nan.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, again, it's fine. It's just I felt like it was a little bit of a strange structure for the book.
Yeah,
I agreed. I agree about that because it makes you kind of like sort of mentally commit to somebody, and then you're like, oh, I guess we're not going to see this person anymore. Yeah, Sarah was a huge bait and switch, but it's fine. I think Nan was the more interesting character.
And we still got Sarah just through Nan.
Through Nan and through Isabel.
Well, I'll say maybe Nan may have been the second most interesting character because Robin Goodfellow was fire.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Robin Goodfellow. Well, we never got a POV from him, but when he showed up, he was kind of the cheat code, I think.
I don't think we could have understood a POV from him. Like,
Right.
I think it would have been totally.
He was
alien.
the Hoyd.
Yeah.
Of the story. Just like showing up and be like, hey, I'm the guy. This, and this, we're done.
Mhm.
But I liked him.
Yeah.
But then, so as a Brandy, I think I get the idea of why it was called that. I think the story happens because of David. Technically, it all begins because of him, but you don't know that till later when you find out he's the reason that Isabel became who she was.
Okay. I like that.
Yeah, I think they kind of buried the lead a little bit. I mean, I guess I can see that. I can see that. I still don't know if it's the best title for the book. And then to like have him on the cover, I'm assuming that's who that is.
It's definitely him. But I think it's also the fact that Cordelia was like plotting to become him. And so like the potential for his body at least was huge. And that was the real menace.
He was, I don't want to say he's like the MacGuffin, but he's kind of the MacGuffin. He's like, yeah, I mean, it kind of hinged on like Cordelia was going to be him.
Which we should talk about Cordelia. She was a great bad guy. She's terrifying and mean, and
anybody else picture Charisma Carpenter from Buffy?
Cordelia from Buffy.
No.
Just me then.
No, I don't know the character, so that's one that missed me.
It's not right. It's just
not
the
right.
name.
I think it's like if Cordelia is she like an Emma Frost kind of character?
Yeah, I think I was seeing the White Witch from The Lion, the Witch, and the
Oh,
Wardrobe
yeah.
in my head. Kind of that
Yeah.
kind of a character.
That's better.
Yeah, I had more of like an Emma Frost vision.
But
she seemed like, you know, hey, this is the person you got to watch out for, but she kind of got defeated pretty quick there in the end.
yeah, she did.
And she I appreciated that we were given a clear villain. Like that we got, like, you know, that it wasn't a mystery to us. It was a mystery to them. But we got like a, you know, the Cordelia chapter where she's like, I'm going after these girls. Nah, it was a little mustache twirly, but like I was like, oh good, we have a villain. And then and she's like a really bad person.
Yeah, she's terrible.
Like I don't think
Right.
she
She's the villain that you don't get today. That is like, she's bad and she's 100% bad. It's, you know, she's not bad because of trauma or any of these other things where you're like, oh, I understand what happened. She is bad.
she's just bad.
Yeah.
She's a
Yeah.
real bad person.
And I appreciate that. Give me that villain that's just not redeemable at all.
Yeah. There was nothing even remotely redeemable about her, and she's literally awful to children.
Oh, yeah. Well, and then her descriptions of like the orphanages and some orphanages were heartbreaking. Like what she does is terrible, but then like just this world that they live in, which is, you know, ours to a certain extent. It's just this awful.
And I guess we can get into the structure a little bit because, you know, we're talking about Cordelia and we're talking about her introduction as a villain, because I feel like that's both where it like got kind of interesting to me and also where it like really went off the rails. Because
My favorite moment when he was reading it, because I'm like way ahead of him at this point, he's like, Cordelia just said that she's going to get them to move.
yeah,
And then they moved and they're falling right into her hands.
falling right into her trap, and then like nothing happens.
It was completely unrelated.
And it
ended up like pissing her off
and it was
and inconveniencing her.
totally unrelated to Cordelia's plan. Really just sucked the air out of it.
I was
for
like,
me.
oh yeah, it's so terrible.
Because she had just said that like she has these plans to get them to move out of the school, and then it happened, and they're talking about doing it, and then they do it, and it turns out like it just is. It's just coincidence.
Yeah.
And then they go out, they move out to the country, to this new place. And then the plot just kind of stalled for a little bit. Just
for
like
a
they just kind of
while.
like did stuff.
And I get that we needed to be introduced to Robin Goodfella.
So this is where I'm like bringing back that asterisk, because Tim said, you said something like it needed, you can see why it needed to happen. So I want to like go into that a little bit.
Why going to the countryside needed to happen?
Or why some of the pacing stuff needed to happen.
I think I may have said the opposite, but
I misunderstood.
It did bog down at that point. It's like they're out in the countryside, living a good life, having fun. Has nothing to do with the story, you know.
Yeah, that's what I felt. It's
we did get Nan and Sarah kind of developing their abilities a little more and getting more confidence, and it's the first time we saw Nan not be overcautious and tell adults what she's doing, even though I felt like that was extremely out of character. So I mean, maybe like for that, but it's still there might have been a better way to do that. But that leads me to like one of the things I loved about this book was how everybody communicated with each other. Like Nan, especially, she's like, "This doesn't feel right. I'm going to get some adults involved," or the runner comes to pick up her and Sarah, and she's like, "I'm going to go tell 3 different people where we're going and why and what the address is, just in case."
And how they communicated about being afraid for Isabel when they were doing the medium thing at the beginning.
And I also loved how if a child talked to an adult as an adult, they were talked back to as an adult. They were treated like an adult, and the respect that everybody had for each other, and not just children and adult, but also the servants and the Hartons. I loved all of those relationships. I thought they were so wonderful. Like, it's so refreshing for a piece of media for people to just communicate clearly and respect each other.
We're not, must have been scarred by Three's Company at some point in your life where everybody just miscommunicates all the time. And Katie said they built a friendship with Robin then. So, I mean, stuff happened. It just felt like it was disconnected a little bit. Like we took the characters on a little side, a little spin-off side quest. That was the plot thread is still happening like over here, but our main characters are over here just kind of enjoying themselves. They did the play and all that stuff, and like that was fascinating. And it was when Robin appeared and joined the play and messed with everybody's heads and stuff.
So there was something that happened in this period of the book that I'm wondering, and maybe somebody that knows these books can answer the question. But so there's the point where they meet the spirits at the bridge, and you got the bad spirit, and then I guess it's the girl that Cordelia had sent to find them.
Yeah,
they actually helped her pass on to the next place, or to Robin's place, really. But you hear they start talking about these characters being warriors of the light, and they have these avatars that they become when they're using their full powers. I think we saw that a little bit at the house where the girls got trapped. What is this about? What is going on here?
I have no idea.
More of that.
I also want more of that. I feel like that was, they didn't talk about that. And I feel like it was like, can we talk about this thing that just happened? Because when they went to they did the medium thing, and then stuff went bad, and all of a sudden they were like these powerful superhero warriors of the light, and even Nan is like older and has a sword, and that just kind of happens, and then
it didn't really go anywhere either. But I did see in Discord, apparently there's like 5 other books that follow Nan and Sarah.
What?
Yeah.
But this is the first ones?
Yes.
Well, that's interesting. But
there's even a picture of like the different books, so you can like see the
that's what I wondered, if there was a lot of world building without those characters, but the world building of the magic world that took place in maybe books 1 and 3 that kind of set up these ideas of the warriors of light and the powers that the people who are not magical have.
Yeah, does it explain
They
why we
really
don't?
just kind of went right into it, and it's like, yeah, this is a thing. Off we go, and that was it.
Yeah, do they explain why in this book we don't feel the need to like, hey, can we just take a time out for a second and talk about what just happened? Like,
Yeah.
apparently Nan, this girl we found on the street, is a warrior of light. No big deal.
But this series is the Elemental Masters, which none of these main characters, except for David and Cordelia, are. They're not Elemental Masters. They're like have different magic. So I bet the books that came before this focus on the Elemental Masters. But I'm really curious, like how it all fits in.
Katie says it's been a while, but I think there's more in the next book with Nan and Sarah. Book 7, Home from the Sea. But yeah, the Warriors of Light thing for me, just this being the only thing that I've read, I was like, hold up.
Yeah.
What? And like, I even can buy that, like Isabel and Frederick and the three
Servants.
the servants that they had with them, that were all like, that's just who they were. But like, also like, Nan is this also, like maybe they should have had a discussion, because I'm pretty sure Nan didn't know that she was it.
Well, they didn't know she was either. They
Yeah.
were like, well, she's too young for this to be happening.
And then we just it's just okay. And then they didn't do it again until the end.
Yeah. Thank you, Alex.
Yeah, thank you, Alex. See, yelling does pay off.
I enjoyed that kind of concept, that aspect of the book.
So did I.
Another 100 pages would have been kind of good to set that up, and then get to that climax and fill the climax out just a little bit. Don't just show up and okay, we win, and then David gives us his house, and
he's
see you next
Uncle
time.
David. Yeah,
he's Uncle Dave. Yeah, let's talk about David, the Wizard of London, the titular character. Can't say that on the internet. But David, not a great person. Just kind of, like, I think he's clearly been influenced by Cordelia all of his life, ever since she's the one that like drove him away from Isabel.
And like Cordelia is totally void of like all emotions and all like happiness, and like you clearly see that David is being done to him as well.
It's not yelling, Stacey. It's just excitedly.
He's channeling Princess Donut.
Yeah.
Who's not yelling in all caps.
But yeah, David. So we know that he's a very social person because it helps him climb the ladder, but he hates it.
Mm-hmm.
He's like an introverted extrovert.
And I love that Sarah just honed in on how sad and lonely he is, and how he
can sense him.
Yeah, and how he eventually realized, it's like, when was the last time I did anything that I actually wanted to do? Like did something for pleasure, or like had a conversation for pleasure, or
It
just
was
like
eating beef at the club.
Yeah. I really appreciated that.
But the way that he kind of viewed the club, we got his chapter where he's like, I like the club because it's just men, and women are the scum of the earth and whatever. It's like, oh, okay, David, we're just digging a hole for you to redeem yourself from. And then he got a jetpack out of that hole.
Sarah's hand.
Yeah.
You need a friend, albeit.
But we get David and how he just all of a sudden keeps thinking of Isabel. Like, he's like, I haven't thought of this person in forever. Why am I thinking of this person? This is annoying. I'm annoyed.
I mean, I think he has physical distance away from Cordelia, which I think helps. I think he's starting to thaw a little bit, and that's what we're seeing.
He's just away from her influence, and so we get like little bits of David, the wizard, and he's got his like circle of mages or whatever, the council or whatever.
I can't remember what they're called, but yes,
whatever it is, and that's like a new thing
on his political.
Well, it seems like it used to be a thing, and maybe it went away, and then he's bringing it back.
Yeah, right.
And I think in that you can kind of see a little bit of who David wants to be, but Cordelia is forcing him to go a different way. He wants to be a wizard. He wants to be something special. He doesn't necessarily want to be in politics, but Cordelia is pushing him. I saw him as really more of a tragic figure than a villain, in my opinion.
Yeah, he was kind of a sad sack. But Cordelia, I wasn't fully clear on why Cordelia wanted to get rid of Sarah. Christy had to help explain that to me.
Yeah, so because she makes ghosts and controls them and stuff, Sarah is really the only one around that can see through that and trace it back to her. And so she has to get rid of Sarah, like to protect herself in the future, is what I got out of it.
That's true? That's right. That's what everybody else got out of it.
Yeah. She's snatching these kids and turning them into her, killing them, obviously, turning them into her little ghost minions. And somehow she's able to figure out that Sarah could be somebody that could out her for doing all these things.
Right.
And so Cordelia is not above killing some kids.
Clearly not. Or experimenting on them just for the
And so it started out with her like wanting to get rid of Sarah, and we got that part of the villain. And then she quadrupled down, and she's like, I'm gonna figure out how to be David.
Well, she didn't necessarily want to be David. She realized that I think her want for more power was going to have to be she was going to be stopped by being a woman. Like you can only go so far. David's like the guy she's already been kind of pushing to be there.
Well, and she started feeling him distance herself from him and get more independent. And so she's like, this isn't going to work. Clearly, like something's going to happen here.
Well, but it was also an immortality play too, because it wasn't just David. It was like, I'm going to be David. I'm going to be the next person, and I'll stick around forever. So yeah, she went full villain.
Cordelia is the real Dread Pirate Roberts.
Yeah.
But we had the medium bit, and that was, I think, just kind of an introduction to the characters in the world. And then we had the setup with the house, where Nan and Sarah were summoned to the house, and then there was that bad thing there, and that's when we first saw the is that when we first saw the Warriors of Light, or was the medium thing?
No, it was the
house. The house is where we first saw Warriors of Light. So was the house thing set up by Cordelia?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, I believe that's correct.
She hired that guy to go fetch them and send the message.
And she wanted to get rid of Sarah, but she also summoned Nan as well.
I assume it's because they are a package, and it would look suspicious to only summon one of them. Or at least that's what I assumed.
That part. And then they all became spaghetti, and their arms were spaghetti, and that didn't happen. That's not part of the book. But you would never know. But yeah, so I guess I'm putting that together just now. There's like Cordelia is responsible for that. And I love how they sort of we had a moment where there was like an investigation. They were looking into it. It was kind of brushed off, and they were like, I don't think so. And then,
well, yeah, I think they found out they pinned it on like the guy who owned the apartment, and that guy ended up did he go kill himself, or he died somehow?
No, the guy who owned the apartment is the same owner of the house, the country house.
That's right. It was somebody else that was like in charge of running it or something.
It was either that or it was like the driver that got them.
I thought it was just some mage.
The guy who summoned the elemental presence that offed himself.
Okay, yeah. They pinned it on that guy, and they found out that's the guy that summoned the thing.
Well, and he killed himself, so I mean, it's kind of hard to keep investigating.
And then they're like, "We wash our hands of this matter. You talented people should think of yourselves and blame yourselves." Yeah, Spaghettification. It's an actual term. Did you know that?
No.
That's what happens to you when you go in a
Yeah.
black hole.
It's true.
You get spaghettified.
I mean, now that you mention it, that does sound familiar.
I knew it would. Yeah, arms are spaghetti. It is a cautionary tale. That happened. That totally happened in this book. You should have seen it, Alex. Everybody was spaghetti. The black
Where are
hole.
we on the next book poll?
Yeah, the arms were spaghetti. It's all
I realized that the difference between a Mercedes Lackey book and a Stephen King book with this same setup would be in a Stephen King book, the two girls wouldn't tell anybody. One of them would die, and the other one would have to jump out a window to escape. Where in Mercedes Lackey's book, the smart kids tell the adults first and then go do the stupid thing. Very, very different kind of a setup there.
And then the adults save them and nobody dies. Although there was some creepiness in this book. You know, all the dark elemental stuff and the Ice Lord who kind of came out of nowhere. What was the Ice Lord? We have Puck on one hand from the Midsummer Night's Dream, Robin Goodfellow, who's a very powerful being,
Summer
fae
god.
thing. And then we have this Ice Lord who doesn't get a name. It's just a generic.
And he was trapped in that cave
Yeah.
somewhere.
He was trapped in something. He could be seen through the mirror ice, and he's like using Cordelia to be able to break free. She's going to help break him free of things when she becomes David and has more power.
And like bring like a perpetual winter.
Yeah,
to
eternal
London.
winters, usual bad guy stuff. But this nameless Ice Lord, she like sold herself to him, her heart or whatever, and she's like, "That's it. I barely have one. Please." But then the end, she fails, and she's just like, "Mine," and he just.
The end was kind of abrupt.
Yeah, we should talk about that because I feel like that was.
Well, before we get there, though,
Yeah.
I did want to say, what about that weird thing with the guy in chains at the bottom of the well?
That didn't really go anywhere.
What was that?
Yeah.
I guess they just came to the conclusion, like, I guess some guy died down there.
Yeah.
They chained him up and tossed him down there, and then they all just left.
But they
It's like,
didn't mean to leave him down there to die. They were gonna come back for him.
Yeah.
Forgot?
But then something happened and they left and he died.
It was a battle, and
Yeah,
they
it was
were overwhelmed,
something.
and then they just left him there as they escaped.
The
But
end.
yeah, what was the point?
It was almost like they had to set that up just to help Sarah and Nan develop their independence with their powers. It was like
Yeah.
a complete setup just for that.
It was
Yeah.
like the part one for to get to the bridge thing, which actually did connect.
Agreed.
So the Ice Lord is elemental, and Robin is part of the Fae. Yeah, they also did. We saw the Wild Hunt, which was insane.
But Sarah and Nan did not.
Sarah did not. No,
Close your eyes.
they closed our eyes. Which I know of the Wild Hunt from The Witcher.
Yeah, the Wild Hunt shows up in lots of different
And lots of things.
media.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But yeah, the well thing, I was like, oh, it kind of didn't really pay off to me. I was just like, oh, I guess okay. All right.
Yeah. Oh, and so the other reason that made me think about that is you were talking about things that are creepy in the book.
Mm.
So being lowered into the well and digging around for stuff and finding a skull and body, that's
It's
pretty
like the
creepy.
Ring.
You know, because
Yeah.
I'm sure they were down there with like a candle or a torch or something, and hey, here's this chained up body at the bottom of the well, and that was a nice horror element in the book.
It was, but I guess it did give them the confidence to do the bridge, because that's the one that they did without telling anybody.
But they should have told somebody. They needed to tell somebody.
But they
'cause they-
didn't.
Clearly couldn't handle it by themselves.
and didn't. But a good old Robin Goodfellow showed up and
Thank
was like,
goodness.
"Aha! Let's call the
Yeah.
Wild Hunt." And then he,
Yeah, I found interesting. This is actually something that I was like, oh, that's a good. That's something you don't normally see. Was so Peggotty, which is the kid that Cordelia was controlling, which if I understand correctly, that was the kid that was at the bridge that was being held back by the other person.
I just found that out because Christy told me yesterday. I did not
So,
put it together.
Yeah. So I think what I understand is that Robin said, hey, you can't really just go on to heaven, but we've got this other place that you can go that's really fun and cool. And you can play on the meadows and you can be happy for the rest of eternity in
Chuck
this
E. Cheese.
other place. Interesting idea there. I guess it's more like a, I don't know if a lost soul would be the way to say it, but it was just some other place for these people that can't quite make it to the other places.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know what you call that. Fun purgatory.
It's like an intermediate place, maybe. I don't know.
And I don't know if that it may have some basis in the legends of the Fae, and I just don't know enough about that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, without Robin's interference, which he doesn't interfere, but he sure does.
He sure does.
Sure
Yeah.
does interfere. Purgatory plus.
The bridge part
I like
kind of
that.
frustrated me because up until that point, Nan had been so smart telling everybody everything and like being so careful, and like she just wasn't then, and it could have really cost them.
And you could almost explain that in that they felt pretty safe at the summer house.
True. But
Maybe.
they like told the adults about the well, like they did it with the adults.
Yeah,
Right.
well, it was part of
That's a
her.
good point.
It was part of her research project.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah,
the
right.
part of their homework.
Yeah.
That one was.
So the other spirit at the bridge was just a ghost.
Just a demon.
It was a woman who got pregnant out of wedlock and then threw her baby in the river and then regretted it and eventually like went into the river after her, and she's just haunting the river. And then when a child comes by, even in ghost form, she like latched on.
She tries to eat them.
That was a
Or
creepy,
absorb them.
sad, like horrible little ghost story that made me really sad.
Well, you clearly remember it better than me.
Well, yeah, because it like got me.
This book was not like. God, she's talking.
I don't know what you're about to say, but like
I was gonna say there's a lot of darkness in this. book.
there's so much lightheartedness and so much love and trust and hope and respect,
and
then
a cozy little midsection.
and cozy, right? And a found family. And then you also have some really dark, kind of awful things.
Kind of awful.
Well, I mean, definitely awful.
Fully awful.
Fully awful.
100% awful.
Yeah.
Concentrated awful.
Do we need to talk about the birds at all?
Yeah, we should talk about the birds.
Birds were
Gray
awesome.
and Neville.
Yeah, Neville kind of came. How coincidental was that? where
Right.
they're
When
like-
Nan got Neville, I was like, really? Just fine.
like,
But I love Neville and I love Gray. I love them.
I like
both.
Neville too, but I did find it rather convenient.
Yeah.
that Nan's like, I wish I had a bird like you, and then
You should do this whole live
and then
stream
she gets
with
on.
that accent.
Yes.
No,
y'all would
please-
hate that.
Please don't.
Y'all would hate it. But
So
yeah.
and I didn't know it, but the Raven thing is real, like the Tower of London thing.
That they're the king's birds.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because I was watching an episode of Celebrity Jeopardy just like 2 days ago, and I think it was a question on Celebrity Jeopardy or some other trivia show I was watching, and they asked about it. I was like, oh, I know about that. I know about it.
Awesome.
Missy had a disappointing experience when they went to the tower.
Oh, and
not
you-
hanging out ravens.
You loved the way that the Raven Master handled it.
Oh yeah, and he was like, "Listen, these are the king's birds, but if he just happened to, fly over the thing, and
As long as I don't know about it, it's fine.
Yeah, so he was in on it.
yeah, I thought that was nice, and it wasn't a source of conflict there. Wait, the royal family owns all ravens in London? I guess. I guess at least in the Tower area, which I've been to, the Tower of London, and now I have a raven.
Carrie thought that Minsab set up the raven thing on purpose. And yeah, she did seem to kind of know beforehand. And then after she was like, mm-hmm.
Yeah, I can see that. Also, just as a side note, took me way too long to realize that Isabel and Memsab were the same person.
Yeah, I looked it up.
Wait until I tell you about Frederick.
What? Is he Salib?
No, Sahib.
Sahib?
Yeah. Minsab and Sahib are just like Mr. and Mrs. kind of. They're just like honorific for male and female.
Because I did not know that. And the first chapter we got Isabel, and it was referring to her as Isabel. And every time we had an Isabel chapter, they referred to her as Isabel.
And then whenever I had
and then the next chapter was like a Sarah chapter, and she was just referring to Memsab. And I was like, who was this? And then I had to, I put it together. I did. Myself.
At what point?
By myself. But
how far into it?
Not too much farther. I guess I was like, oh wait, are they the same person? And I got it. But I didn't appreciate them making me feel that way for a minute.
Stacy says the queen also owns all the swans. I feel like I've heard that.
So the king gets the ravens and the queen gets the swans? Or it's just the crown. The crown owns the swans and the ravens and the birds. Thank you, Stacy. And Brandy and Brenda. See? My people.
Oh, I mean, it was confusing at first.
Oh, okay.
Like, I'm not debating that.
Yeah, I would agree with you. I would agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was confused.
Yeah, and even Sahib and Salim, you know.
Yeah.
Like, okay, who were we talking about?
Yeah. Yeah, that got me a little bit too.
Yeah, and I do wish those other three guys got a little time to develop a little bit more too. They seemed interesting.
Yeah, they're so cool. They clearly have amazing backstories. I would love like backstories, like when they're all in India.
Yeah.
Yeah, they seem like really cool people.
Mm-hmm.
And quite powerful as well. I love the way that Karamjit was able to just like appear, like sneak up, like walk soundlessly and stuff. Tiffany is going to need the rest of the series. It's craven.
But so I think Katie maybe said that Nan and Sarah show up in one more book, or is there?
I think she said like 5 or 6 more books. She said it on Discord.
Definitely book 7.
But yeah, book 7 is the next book that they're in.
How many are there total?
I think in the Elementals, there's like someone mentioned like 16 or something.
Oh wow, okay.
Lackey writes a lot of short stories. There are probably some backstories if you are so inclined. Katie is with us. We can just ask her. They are in several books.
Yeah, Katie. And if anyone is interested in more Nan and Sarah, but don't want to read 16 books, here are the 5 other books with them as main characters. So if you go into the Wizard of London thread on Discord, she's posted a picture. She tagged it as a spoiler just so that the titles don't spoil anything for you. Yeah.
So there's plenty more Nan and Sarah where that came from.
Yeah, that's good to know.
I want the side adventures of Neville and Gray. Just the 2 birds chilling together.
That's the Saturday morning cartoon.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gray and Neville.
18 plus 2 short story anthologies.
My gosh.
Wow.
I've never done 18 of anything. That's
I
not true.
have. Books.
M&M's, gummy bears.
Oh yeah. Cheese balls.
Oh, you did that today. You did twice that today.
A little bit more than that. Listen, the cheese balls from Costco, the space balls.
They're really good.
May the Schwartz be with you. Am I right?
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, what else? What else haven't we talked about? We talked about how the title is
It was a little misleading.
inappropriate for this book. It's not about David, although it kind of is about David.
So it feels like it wants to be about David. So what I can remember either in college or maybe in high school, a literature teacher said once, if you want to find out who a book's about, you look for the character that has gone through the change.
Mm.
And in that case, David fits 100%.
He definitely changed.
Yeah.
And it was interesting at the end of the book that he kind of indicated that Isabel is his lost love. He's not going to marry. He's just going to be this guy living above the club in his little house, and he's happy to give away his estate to the school. And I guess he's going to go be like the Wizard of London. You know, at the very end, maybe that's what he's going to do.
Yeah.
So in some ways, like that's where he is. But you know, if you look at page count, it's not about David at all, right?
No.
Yeah. But he does go through, I would say, probably the biggest change in the book. And we can make a case for Nan and Sarah and Isabel too, in the way that she felt about David, and having to overcome her like anger and all that stuff, and then like through Sarah was able to work through that and like push past. You know, I thought that was I enjoyed seeing the cracks in the armor with Isabel too, because Isabel was, you know, kind of this sort of like a little omniscient at first, kind of in control and able to like just come in and save the day and stuff. But Isabel, in the way that she felt about David and the way that she sort of perceived that, was able to be more at peace with that situation, which she clearly wasn't. Now we're talking about Nan. Carrie says books about Nan. She changed too. Heather says I would say it's about Nan. She went through a more significant change.
I like Brenda's comment here.
Maybe it was the setup for him to become the Wizard of London, not that he already was.
Yeah.
And I think that Nan. Let's talk about Nan's change, because Nan, the big aspect of Nan is that she was this sort of child from the streets, the rough and tumble, streetwise, survival of the fittest, child, and who was now brought into this sanctuary and had to learn the ways and stuff. How would you chart that change?
Looking at Nan, even when she was the orphan, living on the streets, she was still the one taking care of the other kids. She was getting a basket of food, and she was giving food away that she didn't have to give away. So she had that kind of sense of goodness about her, and which is probably what allowed her to get invited to the school. But she had that from the very beginning.
Yeah.
I just put this on the screen because this is your essay.
Yeah, so the medium thing was all about Nan's street smarts. And then the house with the demonic entity was all about Nan coming into her, warrior of light. And then we get to the bridge where she comes out even stronger. And yeah, I thought the book was all about Nan.
Yeah, it was definitely a Nan story, considering we had like the focus on Nan. And yeah, you're right. Like, there's definitely like her sort of learning and growing and becoming. Considering David changed, it would be nice for him to eventually find a Frederick True. Yeah, there's a Frederick for everybody. Maybe. But hope Nan's mom got her karma. I'm sure she did.
Oh God.
It might be safe to say that she probably wasn't alive by the end of the book.
Yeah, that's what Nan felt.
But yeah, I mean, yeah, of the two girls, Nan was definitely the more interesting character. So I can see why Mercedes was like, you know what? Let's do this one.
Yeah.
Let's do this one instead.
So, and this would be a question for the author, of course, but did the story need two girls? Could we have done that same story with maybe a one girl combo?
That's a good question.
I feel like we probably didn't need two girls, but I do love that they both filled the void that they each had.
What were those?
Well, yeah,
voids?
Nan is like the world smart girl, where Sarah is she's I guess you would say she was sheltered by her mom, even though she had these great experiences in India that your trust fund kids in London would never have.
Yeah.
Sarah was just underwritten, in my opinion. When you get to the end of the book, she's just underwritten.
Yeah.
But she's the one.
Sarah.
But I thought it was interesting to make Sarah the linchpin, I think, or whatever. Like Sarah was the one that went up to David and was like, he needs a friend. Like that wasn't a choice that Nan made because of the journey that Nan had been on.
Also, like Sarah is the reason Isabel even considered helping David. Like Nan hated him.
Nan didn't. So I think it's interesting to talk about like whose story it is, and like if we're talking about classic story structure and sort of the way you're supposed to write, like you have a character who makes a decision, who acts based on what has happened to them in the past and how they changed and grows, and it forms their decision to do something that they wouldn't have done in the beginning of the book to solve the problem. In this case, it wasn't Nan. Like Nan just kind of was there to help. She helped him get through the barrier, but it was Sarah who made the choice to reach out to David and say, he needs a friend. Isabel, he needs a friend, which is not typical or not traditional hero's journey. You know what I mean? Like,
well, yeah, Nan's the Riker, and Sarah is, of course, my brain just stopped.
Now you're talking my language.
She's the empath, right? Yeah.
She's the Troy.
She's the Troy. Yeah. Gosh, I can't believe I blew that one. But
he got there.
But Nan isn't the one for it to be so centric around her. She isn't the one that makes the choice in the end to do the right thing.
Well, put Brenda's on the thing.
This one?
Yeah. I think they complemented each other since they had different talents. Nan seemed like she would be a guardian for Sarah. I was just thinking that, like, does their relationship kind of mimic the relationship that Isabel and Frederick have with the three servants, Agan Singh, Salim, and Karanjit?
Yeah, totally.
Maybe.
Yeah, Nancy Enforcer.
Listen to this. I think my big question is, even though it is standalone, how much of the not fleshed out details is for callbacks or future stories or connections to other stories we don't see? Well,
yeah,
guess you got to read it.
That's a great question.
Yeah, I don't know. Seems like they're clearly building a world. But
I feel like David is going to be like a major figure in future stories too, or at least like in the backgrounds, like as a major power.
I think maybe I'm putting a finger on why it still kind of felt like both like rushed and sort of structurally loose for me, because I think I was subconsciously trying to figure out like whose story this is and like who's, and I guess it can be all of their stories. But
I want to know what happens between Nan and Sarah's friendship when Nan gets a boyfriend and joins the cheerleading squad in high school.
I can't really see Nan joining the cheerleading squad. I feel like Sarah.
I had to pick one of them.
Or when Nan gets a boyfriend and he finds out she's a warrior of light for the first time. Oh. Yikes!
Oh
yeah. See, David shows back up. Didn't notice any references to previous stories in this one. David isn't the most important person in the book. The story just pivots on him. Without him, Isabel never goes to India. None of the other things that follow happen. Frederick, the school, etc. It's true.
Interesting.
Yeah. So there's a bit of coincidence here in the book, unless I missed something. The fact that David's little political weekend in the woods is right next door to the place that they had the school for the summer.
That's true.
Was that completely coincidence, or did somehow that get set up intentionally?
It seemed like it was coincidence, but my question is like, why didn't everybody at David's like shindig? Why weren't they at the feet? Is that how you pronounce it?
Fet.
Yeah, the
Why
little
weren't they at the feet?
the feet.
Oh, the church, the church festival.
Yeah, it must have happened after, or the fete happened before the weekend with David. Is what
That
I
may
got.
be right. Yeah, that may be right. It was like I said, it was very convenient for him to be, on the other side of the hedgerow.
Just as it was, I think it's the same kind of convenient that they got to go out to the country that wasn't part of Cordelia's plan, even though she had just mentioned, "I can't wait to get them out of that school." I thought it was. I almost thought like I honestly thought that like them leaving, vacating the school in any capacity was what she wanted. So it was like, even if it was coincidence, she would have been like, "Perfect, works out for me." Otherwise, I'm not really sure why she wanted to get them out of the school. But yeah.
David basically sets up, the Xavier School for Gifted Children, and
X-Men, baby.
right out there in the country, right outside of New York, right?
Right.
Yeah. That's who David is. I think I'm going to change my name to Charles. Charles Xavier. What a great song. Okay, well, look, it's 8:29 in Central Time. Any final thoughts on the Wizard of London? Are you going to continue to read more of Nan and Sarah's exploits, or any of Mercedes Lackey's Elementals series? Christy?
Probably, but it's not like super high on my priority list.
Jeff?
It would be unlikely. Like I said, I enjoyed the book. I have no reason not to, but it doesn't really fit with what I normally read unless it comes up in book club. I appreciate reading it because I would not read it if it wasn't for the book club, and I definitely enjoyed it.
Tim?
Yeah, I did enjoy it. I'm with Chrissy. Yeah, I probably would go to it if I needed some kind of filler book, in my reading list, but not high.
Yeah, I don't know if I need to read more of Nan and Sarah's stories. Not that I didn't like it, because I did. I did enjoy this book, and I enjoyed Mercedes Lackey's writing style for the most part, other than she confused me on the characters and stuff. I thought it was a fun read. I'm glad that we read this. I enjoyed it. But yeah, I don't know if I need to explore the series more. I'll do it vicariously through Christy when Christy gets to it. But yeah, what do y'all think? Brenda said I might read more with Nan and Sarah, but it's not a high priority. Katie's got the rest of the series. We'll be reading them in between current TBRs. Not on the TBR at the moment. Loved the vocabulary. The vocabulary was great. And one thing we didn't talk about, that we should talk about real quickly, were the some of the quotations that you can pull from this book. I think this book had some really nice quotes.
I wrote
like
some
nuggets from like Frederick and from Isabel, like just sometimes, and it helped for me because I read the Kindle version and people had already gone and like underlined them all. But there were some really nice sentiments expressed in this book. Like Christy picked up on one that was like, it is my
anger speaking, not my reason.
Yeah, I mean that's something that you can use that.
Yeah, I might pull that out later.
But like,
I feel like Adam might hear that in the future.
Yeah.
But I think that's like a super smart like thing or like sentiment to express. I love it.
But yeah, I thought there were some nice quotes that you can pull from this book. Anyway, that being said, let's talk about October.
Yeah, you guys
Wait.
picked a book for October.
Yes, October.
Yep. Or y'all picked the Ghostbuster book.
Yes.
It's not Ghostbusters. It's The Screaming Staircase by Jonathan Stroud. But it's kind of like Ghostbusters.
Yes.
A little bit.
So that's October. September coming up after this month is September.
That is correct.
We are reading
the giant in the hands of giant. I don't remember what it's called.
that book that everybody picked September.
Oh man,
That we are currently
it's like what's his name? Like Sylvan something.
blanking on at the moment.
Sleeping Giants.
Sleeping Giants.
By Sylvan.
I knew it the whole
Newell.
time.
And we are so September is a 5 Wednesday month. So we are meeting. Our club hangout's going to be on the 16th. So 3 weeks from now, and then the live discussion is going to be on the 30th.
Thanks
So,
everybody for
got an extra week.
helping us remember the name of the book that we're reading next
It's
month.
been a long day, week, month,
Yeah,
year.
It has.
it's been a time, but yeah. So Sleeping Giants for September, and then Ghostbusters for
The
October.
Screaming Staircase for October.
The Screaming Staircase, and then November.
We're gonna do classics.
Okay.
I already got a poll helper signed up. Very excited. And if y'all are interested in creating the poll, you can sign up on Discord, or if you're not on Discord, you can message me or Adam and we can hook you up. Or just, do it for you.
Yes. But so fun things to look forward to. Short Story Club still happening.
Yeah. Short Story Club's next Wednesday. We've got some magical realism stories that are available. Check that out. We'll be doing next Wednesday on Discord.
And
Excellent. Dark Book Club.
Dark Book Club, and then just fun stuff. So yeah, thanks for joining us. Yes, it's been a hard week. Hopefully, we can provide a little oasis of fun.
Yeah.
Wherever you are and whatever you're going through. But yeah, join us. You can make us read one of your favorite books.
Yes, please make us read one of your favorite books. That's my favorite thing to do.
Do it. Yeah, you can sign up if you'd like to participate for the book poll.
For the book poll, or for the hangout, or for the live discussion.
For anything.
Or if you want to just be behind the scenes and figure out games and activities for the hangout, that's a thing.
Yeah.
We're crowdsourcing this thing.
Crowdsource it. But anyway, y'all have a great night. Thanks for hanging out and talking about the Wizard of London with us. And thanks to Katie for creating this amazing book poll and for getting us to read this book, because I think everybody enjoyed it. We had a good time talking about it.
Yeah.
Thanks to Jeff and Tim for being here on screen. And we'll see you in the future. Bye. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Good night.